moly. Can I get a witness? All right, what do we got here? What are all these papers? What is all this stuff? I don't know what I'm doing. Do I press A? Oh, can I get a witness? Okay, we're coming right up here, everybody. The dog's settling in. Everything's going to work out just fine. Apparently today is some type of celebration of male reproduction. So there's a lot of screaming outside. A lot of people screaming. Young people screaming. But it only seemed like the right thing to do to just come on back. Hey-oh. Boop, 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 boop. Oh. Bring them all in. We're talking about room design today. We're getting back to the basics. You know, we need to talk about some sublime stuff. We need to live, too. I don't like filming and editing. Let's just face it there. Just womb design. Now, most of the time, I'm not going to be able to see the stream for reasons that will become clear in time. So if I miss your comments, it's just because I'm focusing on the work at hand. I'm ready. My Wacom is on steady. I'm gonna draw some rooms. I'm lighter when I'm lower. I'm higher when I'm heavy. Okay. What's going on here? I'm bathing in white nuclear fire. We're gonna take our GMing higher. I'm higher when I'm heavy. I'm lighter when I'm lower. I think I'm butchering the awesome, awesome lyrics in that song, but I don't care because I freaking love that song. That song is dope. Okay, well, Tilly is still back there in her little basket. See how my thumb is pointing right at that basket? She's still in there. She's still in there. I keep her in there. Okay, hey guys. Greetings, programs. Old Ingrid Bernal here. Your old buddy from Runehammer. Back once again. Before we dive into the room design. So many puns to be made. Thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out last night. Last night was very exciting. And thank you, everybody, for all the nice messages and cool comments and inspirational statements and kindness and concern and heroic rally cries that resulted from whatever that was last night. I just needed to let it all out. I'm fine. Everything's fine. I am more engaged in what I'm doing than ever before. But hey, I'm just like you guys. Every once in a while, you just need to just blow it all out. Just word salad all over the place and just let it out of your body. It isn't necessarily that it's like going to dominate your consciousness to think negative thoughts or something. It's just sometimes it's just healthy to let it out. That's all I'm saying. And I feel like light as a feather today. I'm lighter when I'm lower, and I'm higher when I'm heavy. Just like them old 21 Pilots. I love that song. My jumpsuit is on steady. Anyway, digression. So last night was just this esoteric reminder to everybody out there. By the way, you guys are freaking awesome. There's now 36,000 of you. We're 36,000 shields strong. This is almost one dwarven division. Anyway, holler and shout and respect and thank you to all of you guys for hanging tough with me. Last night was just like I'm still alive. I'm still here. I've been thinking about stuff and also been very busy. I am a force of destruction. I am a human being. I have feelings and I matter. Oh. So it's done. And now that it's out of me, I feel so energetic today. Like I mowed my lawn. I mean the entire lawn. You know, I'm an adult. So if I want to mow half the lawn and go inside and have a margarita, I can. But no, not today. Today I mowed the whole lawn. Anyways, got a bunch of stuff done. And it's a great day, too, for numerous reasons. Besides Father's Day, happy Father's Day to all you male breeders out there. Well done. Way to keep the species going. But all that, we're going to set that all behind us now. So I pulled the stream down from yesterday because of all the foul language that I was just busting out. Sometimes it just feels good to get it all off your chest. But that doesn't mean like I want to, represent that. So, like so many of those streams that are really high energy like that, I love that people show up and that they're there. it had almost 2,000 views. And then I just kind of was like, okay, it's a little intense with all the F-bombs. So I kind of just pulled it down. It doesn't mean I regret what I said. It just means I don't necessarily want to be on YouTube dropping F-bombs every 5 seconds. But sometimes it can be very healthy. I advise everybody try it every few months. It can really let some stuff out. But we're past all that now. We're going to get right back into the discipline. And one thing I got to thank everybody for is everyone bringing me back to my creative center, reminding me about what this is about. I know that might sound circular and silly, but it's easy to lose track of it sometimes in the course of all the chaos and all the different work and the projects and helping people with projects, and also still just believing in the fun that happens at the table week by week. Sometimes it's easy when you're doing this all day, every day. It's easy to lose sight of just what really it is, which is just friends getting together and laughing about arachnophibians. So that really is the essence of what we do. And I love that essence, and it renews me, fills me with enthusiasm all the frickin' time. We're 36,000 strong, so let's get into this crap. Enough intro. I'm Ingrid Bernal. Thank you guys for showing up. Today is going to be a unique milestone in the history of room design. Sorry, that was the dubstep version. The first time ever in room step. Screw it. That's what we're going to call it from now on. The first time in room design that I have wanted to take someone else's room design and deliver it unto you guys with some variations and some explanations, and we're going to jump into that business. So if I don't see your comments, sorry about that. It's not because I don't love you. You know that. It's just because I am deep in the counsel of the enemy, and that means I'm focused on drawing. Okay? So let's just get in there. All right, so you guys can probably all see my Photoshop at this point. There's my pen. Whoa, look, I'm drawing a squiggly line. Okay, I hope that's all working. All right, so the room design that we want to talk about. Let me just start getting into it while I explain it, okay? So this room was conceived by my man Joseph Sterling. So as you guys who watch the Roll for Effort YouTube channel know, we play every week together, and currently JD, I think is that my nickname for him? I don't know, it's just a nickname. He is currently our DM. So we're journeying through these elven tunnels, and the room design that I want to talk about today is so brilliant for numerous reasons. So on the one hand, I want to document Joe's brilliant idea for all of you guys. So thank you, JD, for your awesome DMing style. Dude, you're getting better and better every week at the way that you're delivering this adventure for us. It's such a pleasure. It's a true privilege to play with you guys. So I wanted to document his work, but I also then wanted to be a little tool bag about it and offer him some ways that it could tighten. And then I also want to give you some variations. Okay, so we're going to call this room Sphere Trap. Now, you guys know that one of the things I really pride myself on Runehammer, it's not about doing regular, like, weekly stuff, kind of like I was ranting about last night, and it's not about, at least anymore, about edited humorous videos, even though I'm going to try to talk a little faster and keep these tighter when we're doing live streams. For me, what it's really about is playable content. And one of the things that reminded me this is what I care about so much is going back and watching my old Night of the Crack stream and seeing, like, I was really proud of the content in that stream. So that's kind of what I want to do going forward, is we're going to do room designs, and we're going to focus on playable material. That's one thing that came out of yesterday thinking is, like, I don't need to be ranting and raving on YouTube. I don't need to be putting out regular videos. That's not the point. What I need to be doing is offer playable material. I'm always talking about how important it is to our hobby to offer people playable material. And this brings me to my first point, which is that Joe is really good at taking canon material, like pre-written material, and then making it his own. And in a way, being so comically slavish to the source material that it's beautiful. Okay, so we've got a few concepts you're going to need to get used to here to understand why this room is exciting. Okay, so first of all, we have something called Garland's Sphere. Now, for those of you who have the ICRPG Magic book, the third book, you know about this spell. Garland's Sphere is a giant, immaterial black sphere that is lightless, and it has a short radius around it like meow. And anything within that radius, it completely destroys, saps all the energy out of any magical equipment of any kind. It's a magic nullifying sphere, and not temporarily. It destroys magic items that come within its range. So you need that piece of information. Second of all, you have the Minotaur. Now, in JD's case, he hosted this room. His Minotaur was sort of straight out of the book as far as ICRPG goes. 3 hearts, charges, and so on and so forth. If any of you guys know my Tunnel of Hathor-Dur short story, you know that I usually equip my Minotaurs with an invulnerability belt. So this is a belt that they simply cannot be harmed until this belt is removed, and it makes their charging behavior ultra deadly. They're very hard to beat. So the Minotaur is always moving in these big, long, straight lines and doing ultimate damage, D12 damage in the case of ICRPG, to anything that can't avoid it. So he's moving in these big straight charges. Okay, that's your second piece. Your third piece is here's your heroes right here. They're entering the tunnel from this side, and they need to get to this door down here. We're going to call that exit. So wait, what is this? Well, here's where you see what this really is. This is a trip. We're going to call it a tripwire, but a tripwire is just a term I want to use. In JD's case, he had this sort of 3-dimensional rune that filled the tunnel, and anything that would pass through this would trigger the trap. So you could make this avoidable, but honestly, I think the trap is far less interesting if you make it avoidable. I think that moving through any amount of space here in this part of the tunnel should trigger the trap. It's an unavoidable trip, unless players could dig their way around the trip, or they could become immaterial to move through. No matter what, even if they don't trip the trap, you should still have your sphere over here. And let's kind of give this sphere a little more detail there. It's got some swirlies in it. Right? So if they bypass the tripwire, you still want this trap to be sort of fun and interesting. So I would keep the sphere in existence. But when they trip the trap, as JD designed it, the minute that happens, the sphere is sort of created out of this far portal. I'm just cleaning up some of my mess here so you can see. It's created out of this far portal, which is right here. And now we're going to go to red. So it's created out of here. It emanates, and then it begins sliding down the tunnel like this, okay? The players are entering this way, and then they have this Minotaur messing things up, coming at them, all enraged, all crazy. The Minotaur, if you play him with the invulnerability belt, only has one piece of magic gear. So you could even say that the invulnerability belt isn't magic. It's actual iron armor that protects him, that needs to be stripped off. But if it is magic, the Minotaur doesn't care about Garland's sphere, because all it can do is nullify his magic belt, and he's still a formidable force. So the Minotaur just lives in this tunnel. He's terrifying whoever comes through. Here come the players. Whoop, they're coming up this way. The sphere is creeping up this way. Now in JD's version, the sphere was smaller. It was about this big. So we had pretty easy time flattening our bodies against the wall to avoid the sphere. But in my version, no. The sphere is just as big as the damn tunnel. There is no solution to this trap except retreat. So the players could say, screw this, we're going back out this door and we're leaving. And we're going to, I don't know, regroup. Maybe we're going to dig an extra tunnel, who knows. But then in JD's case, he brings in elves, right? Here comes the evil elves. They're attacking through this door, so you're being pinched. Okay, now this is classic trap theory that JD is employing. He's drawing us in because we have to go over here. He's got the draw. Then he confines us by introducing the elves chasing us, and then he snaps his trap, which is this huge magic destroying sphere. Now the beauty of the magic destroying sphere is that it doesn't hurt you. You can't touch it and it can't touch you, but it destroys all your magic gear. Now anybody out there who has played any campaign of any length knows this is absolutely terrifying. So this is the version that JD hit us with on Thursday night. The sphere trap in its most basic form. My version has a bigger sphere and has no guaranteed way to avoid it. But don't feel like I'm that big of a jerk quite yet. Players who are creative, and especially who are high-powered, can find a way out. I'm not sure why I'm... So let me get back so I can talk to you a little bit here. Okay, so creative players who have been around a while can find a way to either move through solid matter, to become immaterial, to avoid this thing, to phase their way past it, to change time in a way, or they can use counterspell or nullify magic. Your job as the DM, especially in the case of the sphere trap, is not to provide a little, whammy way out. A McGullican. What's it called? A Gulliver? A MacGuffin. Not to provide a MacGuffin that just says, here's the solution. You don't really have to be afraid of the sphere. In my opinion, the most fun gameplay is when there is no way out. And the players need to invent it. They need to pull it out of their butts, for lack of a more cultured version of the statement. Okay, they need to find a way to pull this out of their butts to survive. Okay, so this is version 1. It's this kinked pattern. Now, if you notice the kinked pattern, the reason you have this kink here, let me get my pen going again. This kink right here, see the one I'm coloring in? The reason you want this tunnel to kink is for 2 reasons. 1, it creates more space. I'm a big believer in folding playable space. Let's say that this is sort of your screen space from here to here. If it's a straight line, you get that much real estate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's like 6 units of play. I'm just making this up. Okay, so let's get rid of that. But if I use the same amount of space here to here, and I do this, this is like almost double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not quite double. So you see, by folding space, you get more playable game time in the same amount of visual real estate. Now also, and this is where JD is so brilliant, you put this kink into the tunnel because right here you have blocked line of sight. LOS. Now this does a bunch of things. You guys know my architectural talks. It's really key to good architecture that you are just not able to see the money shot right when you walk in the front door of a place. You need to meander around sight denial, which is, one of Frank Lloyd Wright's big things, these big reveals that you do. You don't just see the thing right away. There's a squiggle to great architecture that lets you journey inward and then reveals to you what's ahead. So you need that squiggle. Now what I said to myself is, can we do some nice variations on this idea with all the same pieces? Okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's start over again. First, I want to do what I like to call the cross variation. It's like this. Okay, just bear with me. There's the entry door. Okay, entering here. Here's your players. Here's your exit door. Here's the sort of portal or set of runes or whatever where your sphere can spawn, but it doesn't. It spawns over here. So in the other version, this is where it would be, but not here. Here I'm building a cross variation. Here's your tripwire. Remember, for your tripwire to be interesting, sorry guys, has to be basically unavoidable. It's just the entire corridor is magically trapped. Just go with it for now. You can explain it in a cool way later. When this is crossed, bang, this magical portal right here spawns the sphere. The sphere is like this big. Right? And it goes like this and then bounces and goes back across. Now we get a lot of fun pieces here. Let's go to red. The elves are chasing, as usual. The elves are critical because they pinch the whole encounter. They keep people from just easily retreating. That should be black. There we go. Okay? So the players move up. They trigger this thing. They see this huge sphere bouncing back and forth. Whom, 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 whom. Then the elves show up. There's 1d12 elves. I mean, like it's a rain of arrows. So the pressure to move up and exit is extreme. But your sphere has to be really big and it's bouncing back and forth fast enough that it A, requires a dex check to even move through this space. To even do this quick enough to dodge the sphere requires a dex check. Secondly, I would change the spell. I would say Garland's sphere in my world is actually solid. In this particular variation, it's a giant, like obsidian sphere that's rolling back and forth. Raiders of the Lost Ark style, what I like to call Peruvian bowling. right? This is a giant Peruvian bowling ball that also nullifies magic items with anything that comes within a few feet of it. So there's just like whoom, 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 whoom. You got to make the dex check. If you fail the dex check, not only do you get the magic nullifying effect, you bounce back. This thing knocks you back and you take physical damage. So what you're doing is fighting back the elves while your party has to make dex checks right here. And your target, because you're such an a-hole, is 18. Now JD, Joe Sterling, also has a brilliant rule that each torch that you introduce with a maximum of 2 takes 1 off the target because of illumination. This is brilliant. This lets you, as the dungeon master, set a much higher target, a scary high target, and players mitigate it with torches. So we've got a bunch of dex checks to get across. Even if everybody gets across somewhat intact, you still have these elves pursuing. The elves are getting afraid of the sphere. You have the exit over here that's being revealed. That's the second variation. This is what I like to call the cross variation, Peruvian bowling. And then I've got a third one called triangle scissor. Triangle scissor assumes all the same elements. It just completely flips it. So just bear with me here while I draw things. Wow, wow, tripwire, boop, 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 boop. Wow, sphere. Sphere, sphere. There's 3 garlands sphere. Once the trip is tripped, right here, remember it's unavoidable. I know, I'm an a-hole. All 3 garland spheres move in this pattern. They crisscross each other. And remember, we need our elements. So we need an exit. Here it is. We need our elves. Let's get our red. Our elves are coming. Here they come. They're coming up behind. The arrows are through the door. Here come the dang elves. You're trying to get right here. The spheres are moving in and out. Now you could really do something fun, which is do the dex check to avoid them, but make them immaterial. So we're flipping both elements. Now, if you really want to be mean, your minotaurs in this room as well. Now this depends on the level of your characters and the level of challenge that you choose. Now JD is interesting to me as a DM because he prefers a slightly less lethal challenge level for our group. And so I often find myself like, actually that wasn't that bad. You know, none of us really dropped. Most of us have, 2 or 3 HP coming out of this room. So, my first thought is maybe JD should make things harder. But no, that's not the point. It's his style. He likes his style to feel that way. And it's also really exciting. It doesn't have to be super lethal to be exciting. Anyway, I have a variation right here. So we're going to make 2 little symbols. You see these 2 little opposite symbols? And they're going to be opposite like this. In the walls of this room, there are these little triangular alcoves. Of course, there's an alcove. It's got to be one of the most overused words in RPGs. You need either a key or you need to spend some time making int checks to use these alcoves, and the alcoves unlock this exit door. Key, unlock to exit. This is how I would make my notes. I'm just writing really fast, so I'm not normally quite so sloppy. So you're fighting a minotaur over here. You're fighting or resisting the elves who are trying to give chase here. Then you have this scissor pattern happening back and forth with these spheres that are magic nullifying spheres. This is probably actually going to be your most lethal one. I mean, right on the first turn, it's freaking right here. Once it's tripped, it's like in your face and everybody jumps out of the way. If one person misses their dex roll, all their magic gear is toast. Remember, you don't want to do this every room in your game. The sphere trap. You've got JD's version, which is the kinked tunnel. You've got the cross variation. And then you've got what I call triangle scissor. So there we have it. That is the room design for today. I wanted to talk fast, I wanted to rip through it, and I wanted to, most of all, to give a bunch of tribute to Joe Sterling for designing this trap. I think it was actually one of the most mechanically interesting and exciting rooms that he's run for us. Now, often I'm critiqued because my focus in the game is on traps, danger, deadliness, combat, excitement, fast-moving, turn-based play. Where's the role-playing? I'm sometimes asked, right? And it's sort of one of the biggest critique I get here on Runehammer. But I can guarantee you guys, there is a ton of role-playing happening in here. A game does not need to slow down and become boring to quote unquote allow role playing. As a matter of fact, I really think that the greatest role playing it happens while fast paced action and danger are unfolding. I really do believe that. So let me just switch my windows a little bit around here so I can see you guys. Okay. So it may seem like when I'm talking room design, all I ever focus on is the killing things, the danger, the speed, the turn-based, the target, the dice rolling, the damage. I do focus on those things. Hell yeah. I'm a mechanical dungeon master. But the role playing happens because your group wants it to happen, not because you're a DM who says, okay, you're on a big boring salt flat now. Everybody proceed to have a long conversation. That to me is not how you encourage good role play. The way that you encourage good role play, in my opinion, is to introduce terrible danger. One of the greatest moments of role play we had was when Matt Shaker's poor character got blown to pieces. There was a funeral service and all this stuff. None of this was something you can design for as far as role play. We care about our homie, we care about his character, and we role played that care. So with Sphere Trap, I do believe there's a lot of room in here for people to sacrifice themselves to help each other, to make heroic moves to create tactical advantage, but by presenting such a brutal puzzle, you can really put people in this pressure cooker, and I think the pressure cooker brings about the great role play. So, hey, good to have you in the stream, by the way, JD. I'm glad you could be here while I pay tribute to one of your best designs. Now, this is a little bit of a habit that I'd like to get in. After last night, I found myself thinking, what the hell am I complaining about? What am I so fired up about? And I think one of the things is I was seeing live videos as being not good enough. And you know what? I think that's BS. I'm happy to be here on YouTube and just do videos this way, rather than film them and pre-can them and make all these funny little edits and good lighting and all this kind of stuff. To me, I think that's what gets my rage going, is creating this sort of TV image. Other people are great at it, and I did not mean last night's comments to tear anybody down who's good at it. I'm only talking about me. I'm not into that. Everybody else can rock on. But I realized that for me, I just like to be in the moment more, and live streaming for me feels really natural, and you guys can see my creative process directly as I do it, as long as I have the content. It may seem sometimes that on Runehammer, I'm sort of winging it as we talk, but please believe me, that is not the case. Just doing this quick little half-hour stream tonight, I've been thinking hard about it since Thursday night, with about 5 pages of notes in my book. Now, it seems like, well, we only looked at like 3 little maps. But to get fast mental command of it requires memorization, requires deep thinking, and all of you guys as dungeon masters know exactly what I'm talking about, and that is why we bond together as a shield wall. So, I hope you guys are excited about what's coming, because this is how I would like to do my work with you guys. This is how I would like to express myself on YouTube. I don't think YouTube itself is flawed in any way that I care about. I'm not here to critique YouTube as a platform. I think I'm here to critique the lifestyle involved in creating prepackaged videos. That for me does not feel right or like me. And so I didn't mean last night that I'm negative about things. What I meant to say is like, I am a human being and I want to get all this off my chest, and I did. And now I feel great. So if you guys can look forward to and are excited by this kind of content, then welcome. I'm excited to be back on YouTube. I want to tour you guys in the coming weeks with some of what I've been doing in these past 6 months that I've been missing, besides falling in love. But besides that, making a bunch of RPG content, I have never left at all. I am probably more prolific than I was 2 or 3 years ago. I'm on frickin' fire thanks to the wonderful community that is surrounding me as far as Index Card RPG. And on Patreon, you guys are paying for my dog food and my cat food, and I thank you. So we're going to be looking at next stream some of all of that I've been doing. And a quick shout out to Victor Diaz for his incredible archival versions of Index Card RPG, 770 pages. He has taken everything I've ever released and put them into a big POD mega books. They're like phone books. It's insane. And he's really inspired me to offer up to everybody what I've been doing. because the D&D just don't stop. And I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to stop referring to the RPG life as D&D. I think we're moving past that right now. Until they come out with 6th edition, I'm going to lay off the fangirling on D&D. I'm kind of, to be totally honest, I'm really into index card RPG right now. I didn't create it just as a novelty. I created it because I do believe it's a rock steady system. And seeing everybody out there playing it is giving me a lot of reinforcement on that. I'm really believing in it. And I want to talk about it, and I want to bring it to the table. No pun intended. It's not really a pun. Anyway, now I'm just rambling because I'm excited. I got a bunch of work ahead of me tonight. I am starting work on both the 4th book of Index Card RPG, which I'm really excited about. It's all room design. And also what's coming in 2020 and beyond. My sort of second true RPG, my second system. And that's really where a lot of my mind power has been going and where my journal is filling up. And I'm just like, eyeballs deep in stuff. And really, to be honest, I have been this whole time. I just have not been on YouTube. So I hope you guys like this kind of stuff. I'm going to talk as fast as I can and rip through stuff as fast as I can so we don't get these 3-hour live streams, which I know are hard for people to process. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in. Thanks, everybody, for pushing me to 36 frickin' thousand. I don't think I even made a video between 35,000 and 36,000. I was just a lazy bum. So the fact that that growth is still happening, I'm so excited. I'm so thankful. And I just want to earn that reach. That reach as an artist, to me, is the adrenaline, limbic, endorphin drip that I need to keep being awesome. I hope all you guys' games are still going and that your table groups are kicking ass, whether you're playing Hellboy the board game or freaking that Skull Coaster game or just rock steady bone crushing RPGs. May your dice roll high. Strength, honor, and beer. My name's Ingrid Bernal, and I'll be right here. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Boom 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 boom. Boom 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 boom. Ha! I'm all shook up. Boom 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 boom.